Christian Myers on the trumpet this morning, the flugelhorn this morning. That's right, that little Clifford Brown tune. All right, we worked a little extra hard on that one. That one's a little technical on Chris's part. You got to give it up for him.
Still working on that one.
You know what time that means it is. Let's get on our feet. Let's sing Come On In. Let's get this service started off right.
Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. With the doors of lights with open arms, he's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, You'll find a place of rest and illumination where God within you helps you to light your way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. When the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Well, there's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Unity of Tampa, come on in. All right, good morning. Happy Sunday to you all. Suzanne, how are you?
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good morning. Yes, isn't our band just fabulous? Thank you, including Chris Myers.
That's right.
Yes. Do we have any first-time visitors?
What does that mean? First time to this building?
Yes, first time in this building. Raise your hand.
First time to this building.
All right. Welcome. We have some gifts for you. We've got some flowers, and we also have a free t-shirt after the service. So make sure you pick it up. Announcements. Everybody here in the sanctuary, you've got your announcements in your bulletin, but those on Facebook, you can always go to unitytampa.org, and please check in on your social media now, everybody. But please turn your cell phones off. Okay. We have a community event called Empty Bowls. We've got flyers in the back of the sanctuary. Empty Bowls began in 1990 as an art class project in a Michigan high school to raise funds for a food drive. Students made ceramic bowls, served a meal of soup and bread, and invited guests to keep the bowl as a reminder of the hunger in the world. Join us on April 1st, 2023 for this family-friendly event that acts as a reminder that no one should be hungry or homeless. 100% of the proceeds go to ending hunger and homelessness in our community. So there's flyers. If you're interested, please pick one up. Okay. Today, we have our sleeping mats for the homeless. We will be weaving mats out of plastic bags for the homeless right here after the service in the sanctuary. Oh, I'm sorry. And Fellowship Hall, after you have your snack over there. And thank you, Snack Angels, by the way. You know, we always have our meet and greet in the Fellowship Hall after the service. And if anybody wants to volunteer to help Vivian out, please sign up. Okay. As some of you know, Bobby, our parishioner here, he lost his significant other, and her name was Charlie. She passed away. And so next Saturday, April 1st, at 4:45, there is a potluck celebration of life at 3333 West Columbus Drive. And it is open to anybody who would like to attend. Thank you. Birthdays. We have a birthday for March 29th. Zach Thomas turns 21. Congratulations, Zach. And March 30th, Logan King, the grandson, turns 1. Yay! And on March 31st, Jeffrey, Logan's puppy,
22.
turns 22. So to celebrate Poppy's birthday today, we're going to have a cake and a lot of food over in Fellowship Hall for our executive director. God bless you. Thank you for all your service.
Suzanne, I just found out it's Bobby's birthday on Tuesday.
Bobby's birthday on Tuesday. Yay, Bobby!
Is there anybody else?
Is there anybody else in the audience
Anybody else with a birthday
with
this
a
week?
birthday?
Oh.
Oh,
Dolores.
okay. The she's 19.
Yeah, and Jeffrey's 22.
There you go.
Let's sing them all happy
birthday.
birthdays, shall we?
Okay.
Have we got another one? No?
Any more?
Wait, that it?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for celebrating them with us. Thanks, Suzanne.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Suzanne. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are my favorite people? I look forward to Sundays so much. You have no idea. It's so great to see everybody. And I hope you had a good week. And I hope you practiced detaching. I hope you did. We're on our last final stretch, this week. So 40 days we've had to get this right. So you only have another week left, and we have got to get this right. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I have a couple of announcements. First of all, I would like to do a quick shout out for next Sunday. 2 birthdays next Sunday. Anne and Linda, both in Colorado, both 2 of my longest term friends, and both born on the same day, next Sunday. And since I won't be here next Sunday, just FYI, Reverend Virginia is filling in for me next Sunday, so I hope you'll come support her. But we are going to be in Maryland for Logan's first birthday party, and I'm doing his, his christening next Sunday. So very cool. I get to be at his birthday party, and I'm sure he's expecting us. I also want to give congrats. We have 2 awesome teams that did a lot of really good work this week, our vision teams. So first, Norma, I would like you to come up if you would. And don't give me the look. You know I was going to ask you. I want Norma to come up and speak about what they did, and then I'd also like Hanson to speak about what they did.
And talking to the mic. Good morning. We had a great week. I mean, it was awesome. You guys, as usual, stepped up to the plate. David, are you here today? He's not. Oh, there you go. You're hiding from me. Okay. David and I delivered the items to the spring on Thursday. It was so much stuff, he couldn't even see out of the back of his, Duncan? Oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, look at that. And the team got together and we packaged up everything. And, well, I've been looking for them. Clara's here, David's here. Karen, are you here? Yeah, Rhonda was there. Yeah, stand up. See, David, stand up. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was really good. So I'm gonna make this quick. We donated 31 sets of sheets, 6 comforter sets, 2 throw blankets, 16 standard size pillows, 11 sets of towels, 5 bath mats, 15 boxes of feminine hygiene products, 20 pairs of ladies' underpants, 30 pairs of socks, 1 set of 18 washcloths, 1 mattress protector, 1 shower set, 1 set of ladies' PJs, 3 sets of slippers, and 6 bath bombs. Yes, you guys, really, thank you so much. We could not have done this without you all. And the delivery was a lot of fun. They were very excited to get the stuff, and David and I overheard the guy said, "Oh, this was on someone's wish list." So know that we did a good thing. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Norma.
And I'm going to have Hanson come up. Thank you, Hanson.
I'm Hanson. That's what the name tag says. Joanne and I are, what's that?
And you're going with that?
I'm going with that. All right. And Joanne and I are the chairs of the Earth Care team. And we have Lindsay Painter, who's really my right-hand person. She's really great with all the social media stuff, so she gets out texts and emails, et cetera, like that. But we'd like to invite you here in the audience, as well as onlineville, to join us when we have another Earth Care Team event. We've been kind of following the Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful. When we see something that kind of makes sense to us and what might make sense to the congregants, you know, we will let people know. And it's something that you can just go to Eventbrite and sign up and hopefully show up. We've had some events like the Gasparilla cleanup. We picked up something like over 10,000 pounds of junk and like 800 pounds of beads that were then sent to like some place like Lighthouse for the Blind, where they're cleaned and then resold to the Gasparilla Pirates. I don't know how much stuff we picked up yesterday at yesterday's event, which is at the Bypass Canal in the east side of Tampa. But it was really a very nice setting. I had never been to this park before, and this is kind of something that we might keep in mind, like, hey, let's go find a new park, and we all benefit from that. So anyhow, I'd like to invite you guys to consider, and if you want to, just, you know, grab a hold of me or grab a hold of Joanne or Lindsay and say, hey, we would like to be part of that. Either give us your email address or a phone number that we can text to, or both, and then we can put you on the list, okay? Thank you very much for your attention.
I think it's important that we honor all the work that gets done here, so I'd like you to know what we're doing. So thanks to our 3 leaders who took the time to come up, and even though Joanne's sitting in the background, I know how much you do, so thank you. All right, I also just want to do a quick hello to everybody online, both on YouTube and Facebook. Our second week live on YouTube, and we had more people on YouTube last Sunday watching live than on Facebook, so it's a little competitive now. We're going to see how we do. Anyway, let's pause and let's say our affirmation for today, okay? Close your eyes. Do it without looking. Come on. If you don't know this by now, I'm concerned. All right. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. All right.
I have the magic key, see?
Oh, nice job. Very nice. Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah, it's your birthday. You can do it. Okay, today's daily word is joy. What a joyful message. I draw from my wellspring of joy. There are so many ways to express joy. I may speak words of praise that bring the awareness of even more blessings to mind. I may take joyful action, my every step aglow with the light of God, enlivening all I do. I celebrate the playful joy of every child, especially the child within me. I experience the same happiness whether I'm in the heart of a busy city or in the stillness of nature. And then there's the quiet joy of just being, the richest joy of all. I rediscover my joy by taking slow, deep breaths, tapping into my wellspring of well-being that never runs out. I feel its energetic flow spilling over my heart and into my life. What joy to be a spiritual being, a precious child of God. And from Luke 2, but the angels said to them, do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. And you know, that message reminds us how important it is to be childlike in our lives. I don't know if you remember, but Jesus said that, and so did Charles Fillmore. That until we return to that place where we are innocent children, we'll never experience life the way we were meant to experience it. So just a reminder for all of us. And our lovely band and our lovely staff and all the people, Julie Baum, where are you? Thank you. Thank you for stepping in for Jeffrey B. today. Patrick Merck, thank you for being our board angel on duty. He will be the man you make all your complaints to today. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Suzanne, of course, thank you. Duncan, David, Vivian, Louise, all the people in Fellowship Hall, our dear Elliot, Alvon, Michael, Christian, and we appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Last chance to stand and sing this one. Will you guys stand and sing I Release this morning? Just like Nancy said, we've had 40 days.
Now if you are discouraged, struggling to make it through, and you've got to let it go, let it go, yeah. Well, this is what you got to say. I release and I let go, let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only up to God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only up to God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. Ooh, yeah, So I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only up to God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God.
Thank you. We've had a good time doing that song with you guys this
I
month.
know
Thank
this
you.
whole month I'm going to miss it.
I know.
I am going to miss it. And I was worried. Did you notice he tried to get up for a moment? I was like, don't do it, Elliot. For those of you who don't know, he's still nursing a fractured heel, so he can't stand. And I was ready to jump up here and sit you back down.
Better get some better insurance.
Exactly. Really, exactly. All right, I have two great stories to share. Jeffrey sent us the first one. This is so special. So this is an 88-year-old retired nurse. Her name is Violet. She boarded a plane following a visit to see her daughter, and she was completely unaware of what was about to happen to her. She had been talking with a man named Jack prior to the flight. The two were chatting about the plane and boarding process, and during that time, she tells Jack that she has always wanted, that it has been her dream to travel at the front of the plane. So when Violet got on the plane, she was informed by the flight attendant that she was to swap seats with a passenger in first class, allowing Violet to travel home in style and fulfill her dream. The flight attendant said, "Of the hundreds of flights I've operated, I've had the pleasure of looking after footballers, supermodels, Hollywood movie stars. But let me tell you about my two favorite passengers ever, Jack and Violet. Jack and his family purchased seats in our upper-class cabin for a flight home. But when he got on board, he went and found her in economy and swapped seats with her. He then sat on the row of seats directly next to the economy toilet and never made a peep or asked for anything the rest of the flight. No fuss, no attention. He literally did it out of the kindness of his heart. The attendant said you should have seen her face when I tucked her in her bed after supper. She said her daughter won't believe her and wanted a selfie to prove it." Isn't that a great story? I love that he was a young man who understood the importance of doing that. It was even more special to me. And our second story is even as nice. It's such a cool idea. We should do it here in Tampa. This came from Nicole. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate it. So this is called a human library. It is going on in Denmark. And you can literally borrow people instead of books. It's literally called the Human Library. And what happens is they host events where readers can borrow human beings who serve as open books and have conversations they would not normally have access to. Every human book on the shelf represents a group in our society who is subjected to prejudice, stigmatization, or discrimination because of their lifestyle, their diagnosis, their belief, their disability, their social status, or their ethnic origin. It's a nonprofit learning platform that hosts these personal conversations, and it's been going on since the year 2000. They create a safe space for dialogue where topics are openly discussed between the human books and their readers. All of the human books are volunteers with personal experience on their topic. Difficult questions are expected and appreciated. Each human book has a title: unemployed, refugee, bipolar, etc. But listening to their stories, you realize just how much you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. It says they host events virtually in libraries, museums, festivals, conferences, schools, universities, and now they have published their books in 85 countries to date. Isn't that awesome? I love that story. What a great way to get to know people, right? I loved it. All right. Well, enough joy. Let's go to peace. We'll cut joy out and we'll go right to peace. We'll get ready for today's message.
I am at peace, I am at peace, I am one with the Spirit, I am calm, I am still, I am doing God's will, I am at peace, I am at peace, I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. I am loved, I am loved, I am one with the Spirit, I am calm, I am still, I am doing God's will, I am loved, I am loved, I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord.
So I invite you now to just take a few really deep breaths. Breathing in, letting it go. And allowing yourself just to find some relaxation. Let all that tension go. Allow the joy that fills this room to just remind you what a beautiful morning it is and how blessed we are to be together. Spending time supporting our spiritual growth is so important. And as you keep breathing and relaxing your body and your head and your neck, letting go of yesterday, not thinking about today or tomorrow, just let the words I'm going to share enter your heart as it seems right. Let go of whatever doesn't fit. Just surrender to the process. I surrender to the flow of life, knowing that my existence is in divine order. I release myself from the shores of limitation so I can fully experience the life I am meant to live. Although the waters of my life ahead may range from turbulent and uncharted to safe in the harbors of stillness, I relinquish control in order to uncover what is mine to experience. Surrendering. It's an important step in my spiritual growth. To grow, I must trust the universe I live in. That might be difficult for me at times, but there is no value in doubt and fear, as both will only prevent me from remaining open to what lies ahead. Surrendering to the flow of life's unplanned twists and turns, I find myself fully receptive to possibilities. It is in that natural flow that I can experience the divine order for my life, resting assured that I will emerge with greater insight and appreciation for my life and the world around me. As I willingly surrender to the flow of spirit, I experience peace. The peace that is available to me in any given moment or situation. With grace and surrendering, my life unfolds with ease, and I feel the peace that is mine. I take this moment now to allow the sweet surrender of peace to dissolve any concern I have in this moment. Centered in peace, feeling refreshed and relaxed, open to taking in what is mine to learn today. I return to this moment in time, and I am at peace. Good morning, Logan. I can't wait to see you. I hope I fit in your crib. Yes, I'm sleeping with him. So, surrendering. Today we're talking about surrendering. We're 40 days on the journey of letting go. And our final step is to learn how to experience complete freedom in surrendering. You know, in Jesus' final moments on this earth, he proved the importance of surrendering for his own freedom to occur. Surrendering is about us learning to let go of false beliefs. Anything that is limiting us, limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, limiting expectations, anything. But the idea is for us to trust, to learn to trust the universe, to trust where we are on our journey, which can be super difficult, from the little things to the big things. But what I want us all to remember is that we can only be free when we release any attachment we have to our past, to our future, and any anxiety we have associated with those things. If our beliefs don't support our freedom or the freedom of others, then we are robbing ourselves and others of what we are meant here to do. Surrendering is to ultimately trust that whatever is happening or is about to happen is meant for us to experience and to learn from. It's the point at which we allow ourselves to become completely vulnerable, where we no longer resist or feel the need to steer toward a specific direction. The goal for us is to become the observer of our experience, watching, learning, trusting that no matter how difficult it is, we will be led to the right and perfect outcomes for our lives if we would just get out of the way. It's in that moment of total surrender that we begin to have faith in whatever experience we have. But we have to let go first. So, Michael Singer, I love him. I think he's a great writer. And he wrote the Surrender Experiment. And he explains in it how a person can have a very successful external life while at the same time achieving and experiencing inner peace and freedom. He says they can both exist at the same time with two commitments from us. One of those commitments is for us to get in the seat of witness consciousness. And what that means is we are full observers of ourselves. That's the first one. And the second one is that we let go of personal preferences. Personal preferences associated with what people should be doing, how they should be doing it, what's wrong with the way they're doing it, why you're disappointed in people, why everybody in the world lets you down, on and on and on and on. And don't act like you don't have any of those thoughts. Because we all do. It's human. It's part of the human journey. But witness consciousness is about becoming the observer of our experiences, but releasing any expectation related to the outcome. So you can't observe and control. You observe in order not to control. You observe and you watch. And you wait. The best way for us, in my experience, the best way for us to know whether or not we trust the universe we live in is to ask ourselves two things. So you don't need to shake your head and tell me if it's you. But how often is your opinion being shared without being asked? Okay, I'm assuming by the chuckling that means we have a few of us. Okay. So I'm not alone? Okay, great. How frequently do you find fault in others or what they are doing? Nobody wants to laugh at that. Okay. So, look, while all of us have our areas of expertise and all of us have our gifts and talents on this earth, the thing that we have to understand is there's the right place and right time for the inserting. And first, we should be asked. We should be invited to give that feedback. And if we're unsure, we should ask, are you asking for feedback or are you sharing a story? Most of the time, when you say, are you asking for feedback, the answer is no. They just want to be heard. And we should learn that because it would help us. Einstein talked about this, believe it or not. He said the most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe. He said if you believe you live in a friendly universe, then you are going to be receptive to whatever's happening around you because you already see the universe as friendly. If you see it as hostile, you're calling for the manager everywhere you go. Surrendering our challenges the minute they appear and getting out of our own way is how we learn to do this. So I'd like to think our lives, and he agrees, by the way, he agrees with me, that's all I'm saying, because, I need to be right in this moment. But if we take our mind off whatever problem or challenge we're facing, we are immediately going to open the door for solutions that we may not have considered to actually come along. That's the gift of surrendering. And Charles Fillmore taught this. He said we can never be fully receptive to God's grace until we surrender to God's will, which means as humans, we are less trusting of releasing our control and embracing the concept of letting go and letting God, because we think we know what's best for us. Now, that's a real challenge. We all want to think we know what's best. But the reality is we do not, because you know the phrase, this or something better. So your solution might be this, but what if it could be even better? What if it could be more than what you're imagining? Our egos try to convince us that resurrecting ourselves by ourselves requires our own crucifixion and suffering before we get to a place that's intended for us. But we don't actually have to suffer in life. As some of us learned, and I was telling Oscar, I was thinking of him last night when I was editing this, as some of us have learned through A Course in Miracles, surrendering is about forgetting what we think we need, releasing the need to control the outcome, learning to seek divine guidance and the highest good for ourselves and for everybody else. The resolution to our problems may be completely different if we would just surrender. A Course in Miracles also teaches that the solution to the problem is made available to us in the moment the problem actually arises. But it requires us letting go of fear and seeing through a lens of love in order to see it there. So if we're fearful, in the midst of a problem, we cannot see the solution. That's why it takes some of us months, years, days, hours, whatever it takes. Let's look at some of the things we could think about surrendering, okay? What about self-attack? Self-judgment? Those are things we control. What about judging relationships? Judging people's actions. And oftentimes what keeps us stuck is our attachment to the ideal way all of these things should be playing out, because we're trying to fit every single person into the mold of our belief system. And that's what creates such havoc on this earth. I truly believe that. From a spiritual perspective, experience should have taught us all by now that trusting in our divine source and having faith always allows us to emerge in the best possible way. We may not see it at the time, but we're always going to come out of it. Eckhart Tolle, he has a great way of talking about this. He says surrender means saying yes to life and seeing how life suddenly starts to work for us rather than against us. He explains that surrendering is about yielding to the flow of life rather than opposing it, not having inner resistance. He offers this great example, and I think it's so simple but so profound. He says if you were ever stuck in the mud somewhere, you wouldn't say, okay, I resign myself to being stuck in the mud. He says resignation is not surrender. We don't need to accept an undesirable or unpleasant life situation, nor do we need to try and convince ourselves there's nothing wrong with it. Our job is to recognize, though, what we want to get out of the situation and focus our attention on that present moment without labeling it, without giving it a name or a judgment or our 2 cents. He says the only place where we can experience the flow of life is in the present moment. Now, Deepak Chopra says that when you surrender spiritually, you stop forcing solutions on situations that you can't control. He too tells us we should have faith and trust in our divine power. The key is to understand we were placed on this earth to gain wisdom and learn from our experiences. So our need to control them doesn't actually bring us our learning lessons. It's our ability to surrender from them that is going to bring us our best lessons. Using prayer and meditation to connect with our source, trusting God wants nothing but our highest good. It's the only will there is. God's only will for us, that divine source energy, that will is only for our happiness, our health, our joy. We're the ones who get in the way of all of that. I want to leave you with my favorite analogy of surrendering. And I was reminded of it when Melody was on spring break last week and she went with friends to a place where she could ride the lazy river. It's my favorite analogy. So if you've never ridden a lazy river and you're not afraid of water, I'm going to encourage you to have this experience. It's my most favorite experience in life. What happens is you're put into a river of water that's 2.5 to 3 feet most of the time. And you're given an inner tube. And at the place in which you enter, it's super awkward because you're stepping in the water, trying to get yourself on this inner tube, position yourself to float away, okay? And it looks really bad. I mean, it's totally ungraceful, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? This is so embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. However, you start to go. And as you're starting to go, you got your arms on that inner tube. Oh no, I'm going to run into people. Stuff's going to happen. And then there's this moment when you just rest your arms and close your eyes and you go. And I swear to you, when you're in that space, you never want to leave. You never want it to end because surrendering to the flow feels so great. Let's look at today's lessons. The process of surrendering requires us to do the following. First, learn to remain in that witness consciousness, becoming the observer of our own experiences. Number 2, release any attachment to outcomes. Personal preferences are only going to create obstacles for us. Number 3, trust that God has your back. Be receptive to God's grace. And number 4, have faith in the universe you live in. Throw your hands up just once. Enjoy the ride and see how you feel. What if it didn't have to be so difficult? Our affirmation for the final time this month is I release and I let go. Let's say that together again. I release and I let go. And our quote from Marianne Williamson, I love this. Surrender means, by definition, giving up attachment to results. When we surrender to God, we let go of our attachment to how things happen on the outside, and we become more concerned with what happens on the inside. And so let's take a moment of self-reflection here. So we pause to give thanks. First, for the gift and the opportunity to surrender at any time we're ready to throw our hands up and trust God to lead the way. We acknowledge the power within us to activate all levels of consciousness that will help us get there when the idea comes. But we must listen quietly and patiently for the idea and the solution without being attached to what it looks like. We affirm that releasing and letting go will bring us straight to the freedom each of us deserves in this lifetime. And so it is. Amen. All right, prayer needs. If you have a prayer need, please fill out one of the prayer cards. There are some in the back of the seats in front of you, and there are some by the prayer box. We are happy to pray for you, and we send out the list on Mondays. I do. And so I see all the prayers, and I make sure everyone gets them that's on the prayer team. We're so proud of what we accomplish here, and I want to say thank you for your donations, your time, your talents, and your treasures. We continue to be prosperous here, and we continue to pay our bills every month thanks to your help without tapping into our savings account. And that is where we need to be our most responsible, when we're paying our way along. So we're going to say our affirmation together. And if you decide you want to donate, there's always a box in the back, and we have our Breeze app. You can go online. We do not pass plates here. It's not necessary. You know how to handle yourselves. All right, so let's say this together. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good now flowing forth to meet our every need. Amen. All right. Well, I'm going to bring our children down, and they can bring their teachers.
Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around my neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got the sunshine on my Sunday best.
Hello. So in preparation for our Palm Sunday and Easter season, we've been learning about Passover, and we've been learning about what will be happening for Palm Sunday when Jesus came into Jerusalem. Our youngest kids read this morning about Jesus calling the children to him, and how it feels when they feel that they are loved, and sometimes when they have experienced that. So, and how they release, how because Jesus is always with them, they can release any fears or worries they may have. So, thank you guys.
Thanks, Heather. When you lay down your head, you want to sleep at night, but you're wide-eyed and worrying heavy on the state of your life. Just let go, let go, let go, leave it by the side of your pillow. Because the looser the grip, yeah, the lighter the load. You've been playing this game, waiting on your final hour, but your need to win will drain you of your power. Just put down that number one, put down control. I'm the looser the grip, yeah, the lighter the load. When the weight of the world has descended upon you, they say, be strong, hold on, your pride will carry you through. I say the stronger your pride, the longer the road, and the looser the grip, yeah, the lighter the load. Ooh, now, when your heart is heavy from a mind that's full, and your spirit is weak, 'cause the world seems so cruel, all falls away when you let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go now. Well, the looser the grip, the lighter the load, lighter the load. So the deeper the love, the higher we'll go, higher we'll go. The less that you need, the more that it flows, more that it flows, and the looser the grip, yeah, the lighter the load, and the looser the grip, yeah, the lighter the load. Said the looser the grip, yeah, ooh, the lighter the load. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. A little blues this morning, all right? A little Unity blues, you know. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stand and join hands. We'll sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together and sing the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. God
Don't-
bless you. Have a great weekend.
Don't forget about choir rehearsal. I know it wasn't in the announcements, but we're starting as soon as we can.
Yes. Stop by into Fellowship Hall and wish Jeffrey a happy birthday.
Yeah, here we go. Well, I know it wasn't any slower. Definitely wasn't any slower that time. I like that. That was burning though, man. You know?
That was good. That's appropriate for before Easter too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great for before Easter and joy spring. You know, it's the word of the day was joy, and joy spring, joyful or joy. You know, spring. What was it? Joy well of. I don't even know. Wellspring of joy. That's what it was. There we go. Yeah, nice job, man. Yeah, don't feel about it. Yeah, me too. Good. Yeah, I thought so too.